the virtuous Sangha out of compassion for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh, tình chiến diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạp tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đàn Tổ Sư Chế Đô Ye A La Hờ Đi Sa Miao San Pu Tô Chế. Nam mô Tát Rạc Thà Tô Già Đà Già La Hờ Đệ Tam Miệp Tam Bồ Đà Tọa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng she wei miao fa bai jie wan jie na zao yu. 我今觉闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Huineng, Venerable YongHua, Venerable Love people, and all good advisors of Emitofuo. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, Kim Từ Lục Tổ, Thượng Kim Hoa, Ký Thực Cô, các vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. 诸佛菩萨、六祖、师父、上人、各位出家人、各位上知识，阿弥陀佛。Okay, today is the 4th of October 2020. We are at Way Mountain Temple in Rosemead, California, to continue discussing the 6th Patriarch Sutra. We are at the end of chapter 7, Faculties and Conditions, on slide 551. All right, let's continue. Sutra text. That night, the people of Hebei heard a voice in space announcing, "Today, Chan Master Chu Huang has attained the way." Later, he made obeisance and left. He returned to Hebei to teach and convert the 4 assemblies there.
其夜，河北士庶闻空中有声云：“黄禅师今日得道，皇后礼辞，复归河北，开化四众。”
All right, 552. So what happened is 551 is that night in the sky, there's people can hear a voice, an announcement that Chan Master Chu Huang has attained the way, meaning he became enlightened. Okay, meaning that this happens because his level is not low. Enlightenment has many levels, from low to high. So his level is significant enough for this event to occur. Okay, so this is why what's so amazing that in a very short time span, Master Huineng is able to teach Chan Master Chu Huang, and to help him become enlightened at a significant level. We don't know what it is, but certainly it's usually when this happens, it's because it's about mid-range and higher, meaning fifth ground bodhisattva are higher. It's nothing low. Okay? So it's amazing that a great teacher like Master Huineng is able to help his students that way. And so later he made obeisance and left. And later, meaning wasn't long after that, meaning that after he became enlightened, he didn't stick around very long. So he bowed to Master Huineng, Patriarch Huineng, and took his leave and came back to his hometown, to Hebei, and to teach and convert the four and Fu Wei Hebei, Gai Hua Su Zhong, to teach and transform, not convert. You see, convert is a dirty word. In Buddhism, we don't convert people. Okay? So please change it to transform. Okay? We don't convert people in Mahayana at all. They are perfect as the way they are. Sounds good, huh? It's just like you are perfect in the way you are. Yes. Don't change. Just become enlightened. But don't change. So it's funny that the announcement was heard in Hebei, not at the Nanhua Su, and not at Caoxi, the place where the sixth patriarch was teaching. The voice was, the announcements were heard in his hometown. So it's kind of interesting. So you see, when you're ready to propagate the Dharma, you can rest assured that the people will step up and support you. Nothing to worry about, okay? And this is always the Mahayana spirit. And when I first started, it's just like most people, most monks and nuns, I thought I'm going to gauge measure my success and significance of my work with the number of disciples and the temples and so forth, okay? And so it's a commonplace for monks and nuns to do that. But I wish that someone told me back then that it's irrelevant. So that's what I'm telling my students nowadays. It's irrelevant, okay? It's not that important. Your success is not based on material things. It's based on your spirituality, on your level of wisdom, okay? And the support will be there if you're capable and you're willing to help others. Okay, why is that? Because this morning we talked about blessings, okay, that we want to generate blessings, replenish our blessings, especially rich people. The Chinese rich people know better, so they train, they pass on that family secret of their financial success by teaching their children to go to temples and help build temples and help support Buddhism. What they don't know is that Buddhism is so vast that you want to support, the better amongst nuns like Master YongHua. Okay, that's when you maximize your blessings. So the point being that if you're capable, people will step up and support you. Just like you hear the voice in Hebei here. People in Hebei, okay, heard a voice. So that means that because of that, okay, a good number of them, some of them will bring forth the resolve to support Master Chu Huang when he gets back. Okay? So you see, they pave the way
they're assisting us, doing our work invisibly. You need to have faith. You don't have to worry about it. All right? And it's something that I wish that my master would have communicated to his pupil. I would have got the message. So that, because the idea that you need to build a temple and become famous and have a lot of disciples is garbage. It's not worthy for a monk at all, okay, to have that. It's called greed. It's called stupidity. It's called worldly pursuits, okay? If you're worthy, if you're competent and you're capable, people will support you. There's a network of people, not only the lay people in Hebei, in Master Chu Hang's case, but also invisible beings who will gather around him to invisibly support them. You don't have to worry about it. Okay? Just worry about whether you are worthy to be supported, whether you are capable of helping others. So later, he made obeisance and left. Later, meaning, again, very short time after that, he bowed to Master Huineng, and he left. And it's, to me, I'm a little bit surprised that Master Huineng didn't try to keep him. Okay? Master Huineng has the wisdom, so he says, okay, that is all you can do. That's all I can do for you. So go ahead, do your thing. Whereas in some other cases, he would tell the monks to stay on, okay, and so forth. And he returned to Hebei. Chu Hang returned to Hebei to teach and transform, to teach. Teach is to tell, to explain things that people don't know. Okay? So you tell them, you give them that knowledge, the insights that they can't otherwise get themselves. That's what teaching is about. Okay? And transform. Transform here is to bring out, if you will. The Chinese transform in my master's name, YongHua, is this transform here, where you make something appear. Transform is you take something and change its form, okay, for the better. In this particular case, is that he makes you become a better person. Okay, so that's transform is hua, meaning it takes the ickiness, and remove it from you, and instill only the goodness in you. All right? And the fourfold assemblies. Fourfold assemblies are, I don't know, what are the fourfold assemblies again? The monks and nuns, that's 2. And the novices, male novices and female novices, that's 4. Okay? Or you could say monk and nuns and the laymen and the laywomen. Okay? All right? And that means that when you are a novice, you don't count. Okay, so it depends on where you are. In the true Mahayana context, novices are to be abused. I remember when I was a monk, a novice monk and a senior monk at the disciple of Master YongHua in Calgary, Master Heng Zuo, who now returned to lay life. He gave me a hard time and he says, let me remind you who you are, okay? Don't have any false assumptions. You are lower than lay people. Okay? Lay people are more important to us than you. And he's the only monk who dare talk to me like that. No wonder he turned to lay life. Okay? Anyway. Next, 552, Sutra text. One of the Sangha asked the master, who got the principle of Huang Mei. Okay, now this is the next person.
下一位，一僧问师云：“黄梅意指什么人得？”
So why don't you change it to one Sangan, okay? One of the Sangha, one there is, I don't like that use of the word one. So one Sangan, okay, asked the master, Huang Mei, 一指 got 仁德. So who obtained the principle of Huang Mei, okay? Not who got. Got is too colloquial. This is a very, very big deal. That's why you cannot talk casually about this. Who obtained the principle of Huang Mei? Meaning that in a commentary in slide 553, a Sangha member asked who got the rope and bowl from Huang Mei. So who is your successor, if you will? Okay, 554, Sutra text. The master replied, the one who understands the Buddha Dharma.
师云：“会佛法人得。”
Okay, so on the commentary slide 555, the master replied, the one who understands the Buddha Dharma. Who understands? Well, that's fine. Hui here in Chinese, you can translate Hui Fo Fa Ren De, meaning that the one who understands. One word, one meaning of the word Hui, Chinese character, is that you understand, okay? Ling Hui, meaning you comprehend, you understand, okay? You're capable of understanding, okay? And the other Hui, other meaning, another meaning of Hui, the Chinese character Hui, is capable. Are you capable? Okay, meaning what? What is, when you talk about capable in Buddhism, what does it mean? Chinese people. I know you're not Chinese, you probably don't know what this means. Chinese or Korean or Vietnamese, those of you who can read Chinese. What does it mean? Hui, who's capable. What is being capable in Buddhism? In Mahayana, this is a Mahayana concept that the Chinese, sometimes I find the Chinese to be too poetic, too abstruse. So capable here means that a person who is capable of what? Anyone. What you must be, what matters, what must you be capable of? Yes, Red. Pink.
The Dharma.
Huh?
Capable of containing and transmitting the Dharma. Receiving
Sorry.
the Dharma.
Speak more distinctly.
Receiving the Dharma.
Exactly. You are capable to be conferred the Dharma upon you. Or another word concept, you are a a worthy Dharma vessel. The teacher, when he teaches you, he basically is conferring, he's passing on a Dharma for you, okay, to you only, okay, so that now you are responsible for its safekeeping, for its propagation, and so forth, right? So that's why this is a Mahayana concept that the Westerners or modern day people don't understand. In our societies, in these modern times, we pay for our lessons, we pay for our classes, we pay for our degrees eventually, yes? But in Mahayana, you cannot pay, okay? You have to be, if you're worthy, then they will confer upon you because it's their job to pass it on to the next generation, okay? And the only requirement is that you are worthy to receive it. You are capable of receiving it. You are capable of carrying it on. Okay? Shoulder the burden of passing on to the next generation. Any questions? So that's why in Mahayana, you cannot pay for it. You cannot pay for the teaching. You have to be worthy to be taught. All right? Good thing no one wants to know why, what do you need to do to make yourself worthy. It's okay, next. 556, because I don't know. I'm glad no one asked. Sutra text, the Sangha member said, "Hi, Master, have you obtained it?"
僧云：和尚还得否？
Okay, now remember this occurred in China. So what he meant is that did you yourself? It's not was that you. Commentary is wrong. Okay, you can throw this commentary away. I don't know where I copied it from a few years ago. It's not was that you. The Sangha member here is deliberate, disrespectful. He says, "Did you attain it yourself? Did you attain it?" So this is being disrespectful, okay? Because he probably feels he's not worthy to receive it. He probably feels that he's discriminated against because he's not Chinese enough. Okay? For nowadays, if you feel discriminated, it's because you're not international enough. All right? Next, 558. And so, Sutra text. "I do not understand the Buddha Dharma." The master replied.
诗云：我不会佛法。
Okay, is there any commentary? I said, "I do not understand the Buddha Dharma." Again, the Chinese character Hui came back. Okay, this is a depth of language that again is conveys the same message. I don't understand. That's the first meaning. Okay, and also I am not capable. I'm not worthy. I'm not a worthy Dharma vessel. Okay? All right? So, any questions or comments? Is he lying? Okay, control yourself, control yourself. Not too many hands. Okay? Pink.
Who's the master at this part?
The master?
Is it Master Weinong?
Yeah, there's only one master at that temple, trust me.
Well, I didn't know if it was still talking about the other guy who went back to his hometown.
That's a student.
Yeah. Well, he's obviously lying.
Hmm?
He's obviously lying.
He's probably lying. Okay. What's your name again, son? Okay. So one opinion is he's probably lying. How about you, the other person? Blue.
Master, maybe he's expressing that perhaps there's still more to learn, so he perhaps is saying that he doesn't have the complete depth of understanding.
He says, Blue says, I want to like to give the sixth patriarch the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he hasn't quite got it yet. Okay? Yes? Clarification?
He would prefer not to be boastful.
He is not boastful, but then isn't he lying?
No, I don't think he's lying. I think there's so much. Of course,
So you,
I'm groveling at the ground.
If you don't think he's lying, then you think he's attained the Dharma already.
I'm so ignorant, Master, I don't know.
Okay, back to Pinky.
Well, she said that maybe he didn't completely attain the complete Buddha Dharma and didn't completely understand it, but according to you, he's already a Buddha, so there's no more left to be understood by him.
You can't quote me. Okay, that doesn't count. Okay, any other question? Any other comments? 5, 10 fingers.
Master, is it possible that the master didn't tell him that you are worthy vessel yet, so he doesn't know yet?
So meaning the fifth patriarch never told him that he was a Dharma vessel. Okay, now these Koreans are very, very creative. They said, he's not lying because his master never really certified him. The fifth patriarch never certified the sixth patriarch. No wonder they never came to Korea. Yes, next to Pink.
Now it sounds like a nice way to reject the guy.
Nice way to reject the guy. No, I don't want to talk to you. Okay, I don't want to answer you.
Because the guy
Okay.
was disrespectful toward the master. So master just projecting his mind, reading his mind, saying that...
So in other words,
it's
because he's disrespectful, Master Huineng got afflicted and says, I don't want to answer you. I'm not talking to you. Yes, okay, White.
Well, I feel that he's enlightened. Enlightened people don't acknowledge that, and I think it's an act of humility. When he says I, there's no I there to understand anyways.
There's no I who understands. Okay? He's humble to the point where there's no I at all. Okay? Okay, anyone else? I don't understand either. Who are we to speak for the sixth patriarch? Are you crazy? You believe whatever you want to believe. I don't care. Okay? I'm not going to speak for him. But yes, 10, 5 plus 5.
If Master Huineng says, I understand, then the other temples around will not have any donations.
So he has to lie in order to let other people make more donation to the other Buddhist temples, especially in Korea. Okay? Anyone else? This person is so obsessed with donations. You can tell right away. Okay, I do not understand the Buddha Dharma. If Master Huineng says so, he says so. Okay, you can explain any way you want, and it's fine. I don't think he minds. You can say, you're lying. Master Huineng says, what's your name again, son? Okay, and someone says, he's enlightened. Good for you. Yeah, good girl. So remember the original question is that you obtained the Dharma, okay, and the verb is obtain, right? So normally your reply would say, no, I have not obtained it, right? Over here, the difference is that Master Huineng says, I don't understand the Buddha Dharma. Okay? There's a reason why he says, he did not say, I did not obtain the Buddha Dharma. He says, I don't understand Buddha Dharma. I'm not capable of the Buddha Dharma. Okay? Because if he said, I did not obtain the Buddha Dharma, then he would be outright lying. Yes? He's a patriarch. How can he not have obtained the Buddha Dharma? That's not possible. So for people to ask, have you attained the Dharma? Are you enlightened along that line? Then it's insulting. Okay? Because he was designated, he says, I received a robe and bowl from the fifth patriarch. That's me. Okay? So basically he said, the fifth patriarch certified me. Right? So he doesn't have to say he obtained the Buddha Dharma. Right? It's no longer important. Okay? So it's a stupid question. Okay? Because it was given to him from the fifth patriarch already. It's a stupid question. You don't need to answer stupid questions. Okay? However, yes, I don't understand the Buddha Dharma here is what? For his disciples. Okay? So he says, I understand the Buddha Dharma. He said, you students, you disciples of mine, okay, you don't understand the Buddha Dharma yet. Does it make sense to you? That's my version of it. So he's teaching his disciples. Even after you become enlightened, people ask you in that insolent way, you answer. This is how you answer. I do not understand the Buddha Dharma. I am not capable of Buddha Dharma. Then they leave you alone. All right? You don't understand because you're not enlightened yet. If you're enlightened and you listen to this, you watch, you read this and say, oh, if Master Huineng says that this is his reply, then I too can use that reply. Can you see that? See the subtlety here? If Master Huineng says he can reply this way, so can I. So this, to me, is to teach his disciples how to answer these type of insolent questions. Just like if Master Huineng says, let's go buy some super lotto tickets, then his disciples will also say, if our teacher does it, so can we. Yes? That's the same vein, the same kind of teaching. And if you're enlightened, when you say, I don't understand Buddha Dharma, it makes sense. Okay? When you become enlightened, you see that it makes sense. This is the subtlety of the Chinese language that is beautiful. Okay? All right, moving on. 560 Sutra text. One day, the master wanted to wash a robe which he had inherited, but there was no good stream nearby. He walked about 2 miles behind the temple.
师一日欲着所受之衣，而无美泉，因至寺后无里许。
You see, I learned when I joined the CTTB as a novice that someone told me that in a men's side, okay, the Tathagata monastery where we all lived there at first, all the monks lived there. It's only one washing machine. That's about 10 years old, 20 years old, 25 years ago. So it should be around 50 years old by now. Okay? One washing machine for the entire monk monastery. That includes monks, novices, and lay people, laymen as well. Okay? One washing machine. And the monks there, they told me, they said, the monk, the Caucasian monk who used to be his attendant, told me, he said, so I complained to him. I said, I can't believe it. We have so many temples, we have so many properties, and we have one washing machine for our monastery. It's so inefficient. For me, it's too inefficient. It doesn't make sense. So the monk looked at me and said, you know what? Master YongHua, when he lived here, when he first moved in here, we all lived in this monastery together. Okay, people offered to wash clothes for him. He says, no, I will take care of myself. So he would wait until like 2 or 3 in the morning to get up and go use a washing machine himself. Okay, so I think he's more lazy than Master Huineng. Huineng went to to wash a robe. So they don't allow people to wash clothes for them. I don't know why. Why not? To me, it seems so inefficient. Because your time is better spent. Like explaining sutras, go fight demons or something, and let lowlifes wash your clothes. Right? No, he washes his own clothes. All right? This is something I don't understand because I'm not a patriarch. Maybe some patriarch, someone else can help me. Huh? Can you ask the second patriarch when you know who he is and say, hey, Master Patriarch, can you explain to us why? First of all, do you wash your own clothes or you get someone else do it for you? And why is it you patriarchs always wash your own clothes? We don't get it. Okay? Next. No suitable water, and he has to walk around. Back then it's not water is a big issue. 652, Sutra text. When he saw auspicious energies revolving in a dense grove of trees, he shook his staff, stuck it in the ground, and a spring bubbled up and formed a pool.
见山林郁茂，锐气盘旋，师正膝着地，拳因手而出，机以为持。
So cool. He see these things, and he stuck something, and water comes out. Like Master YongHua, he says he went to Hong Kong, no water, so he stuck something in the wall, and the dragon spit water out of the wall. takes a patriarch to know these things. Okay, we don't have to worry about. Please, let's not worry about this. Okay, and they're for real. Trust me. Don't. They manifest these things. You know why they manifest these things? Because then their disciples cannot imitate them to impress the lay people to get more offerings. That's my interpretation. Okay. Sutra text 563. As he knelt to wash his robe on a rock, suddenly a monk came up and bowed before him, saying, I am Fang Bian, a native of Xishu.
乃贵西换衣时上，忽有一僧来礼拜，云：方便是西蜀人。
So he's washing his clothes in this a small pool of water, okay? And suddenly someone came around and say, my name is so and Fang Bian, I'm from Xishu. And next 564 sutra text. A while ago, I was in India where I visited the great master Bodhidharma. He told me to return to China immediately.
着于南天竺国见达摩大师，主方便速往唐土。
I understand that Bodhidharma died like 600 years ago. So this Fang Bian is probably pulling Master Hui Neng's legs. Okay? So anyway, let's see what Master Hui Neng has to say about this. He says, I was in India not too long ago, and I talked to Master Hui Neng, who told me to return to China immediately. All right? Next, 565. Sutra text saying, the Orthodox Dharma treasury and the Samgati robe, which I inherited from Mahakashyapa, has been transmitted to the 6th generation at Caoqi, Shaozhou.
五传大迦摄正法眼藏及僧伽梨，现传6代于邵州潮汐。
All right, is there a commentary about this? Okay, so this is so cool because the Taoists are so proud of having long lives, right? We have long lives too, but we don't teach our students because it's no big deal. You see that? Okay, so the Bodhidharma told Fang Bian, that Chinese monk, he says, the Mahayana, this is the name, Orthodox, proper, the Dharma treasury, that's called, you have to memorize these things. This is the formal words of, the formal name of Mahayana. 大家是正法眼藏 so the proper Dharma, Orthodox Dharma, okay? 眼藏 is eye treasury, or whatever it means. It's way beyond me, okay? Yes. Okay. But that's the proper name for the Buddha Dharma, if you will, in Mahayana. All right? This is the proper Dharma, meaning there's only one Dharma, okay? And eye treasury, I don't know why they use eyes, they could have used ears, whatever. And treasury is a store, okay? So this means that what Master Hui Neng transmits is that Mahayana, if you will. Okay? And the first Chinese patriarch, Bodhidharma, certified to this monk, yes, he's transmitting the proper Dharma. All right? That is the same one. And so that thing, and the robe, Samgati, I believe, is a big robe, okay? the robe, the patriarch's robe, that the Buddha's robe, that was transmitted from Shakyamuni Buddha to Mahakashyapa, the first patriarch, all the way down to Bodhidharma, who then now got to the 6 patriarchs, hence, and is currently at Caoxi, at the Shaozhou. So far, so good. So even Bodhidharma came out to certify the 6 patriarch for some reason. All right? Next, 566, Sutra text. Go there and pay reverence. Fang Bian has come from afar, hoping to see the robe and bowl of that his master transmitted.
汝去专礼，方便远来，愿见我师传来衣钵。
So the Bodhidharma, Venerable Bodhidharma told Fang Bian, he says, you should go there and chan li. Li is to pay respects. Chan here is to gaze at and pay respect. Okay? That's what you're supposed to do when you see a Buddha image, when you see a relic, when you see the sutras, when you see the bodhisattvas, when you see a sangha. Okay? You're supposed to chan li. You see that? Chan li. So far, so good? Don't stand up there and say, hi, how are you? Okay? So this is reverence, because you Chinese look up without blinking. Okay? Gaze at and bow. So far, so good? Okay. So he says, go there and pay reverence. Okay? The pay reverence doesn't convey the protocol, if you will. Okay? Chan Li. And so now Fang Bian, I myself had come from very far from India, hoping to see the bowl, robe and bowl that Master Hui Neng transmitted. Okay, his master transmitted. So he says, I'd like to see the robe and bowl. Okay. I don't understand Chinese wisdom in trying to ask for a rope and bowl. So clearly, this Fang Bian here is not enlightened yet. Okay, when you're enlightened, you don't ask for a rope and bowl. Okay. 567. Sutra text. The master showed them to him and asked, Superior one, what work do you do?
师乃出世，次问上人公何事业？
So the Venerable Hui Neng showed him the rope and the bowl. The rope he's washing, and the bowl, I wonder why he would be carrying a bowl. Okay, he's a patriarch. I would have my attendant carry the bowl. Okay, it's very inefficient, the Chinese. Okay, and it's, you know, when you reach a certain level, you need to maintain an appearance of stature. So it's kind of cute. So he took him out. He took him out and obliged and showed it to him. Okay, it's so cool. To me, he didn't say, "Who are you? You know, are you for real? Can you take a polygraph test first to make sure you're telling me the truth?" But he says, "Superior one, Shang Ren, superior one." Okay, superior one, Gong He Shi Ye. What kind of work do you do? All right. 568 Sutra text. I'm good at sculpting. He replied,
曰善术。
Shu. Okay, so Fang Bian says, I can sculpt. Okay. The English would be proper translation, I can sculpt. You don't say, I'm good at sculpting. That's too Chinese. Okay, so clearly this translator is Chinese. Agree with me? English dictionaries, I can sculpt. Okay, next, 569, Sutra text. Keeping a straight face, the master said, then sculpt something for me to see.
师正色曰：“汝是速看。”
So the master with a straight face. I don't know why is a straight face important. I don't get this part. Okay, help me out. I have no clue why you would say 正色曰正色 is proper complexion, proper face. Okay, proper face. So is it serious or casual or why 正色? What happened to Chinese people or Korean people or Vietnamese people? Help me out here. I don't understand 正色. A Chinese person. They look at me like that too. God, go back to China. Right? 正色. Why would you say 正色? Why is it necessary? I don't get this. Okay? And the master said, 汝是速看. So, don't say then. Then is, God, this is so Chinese. Please, this is English. Okay? When we translate into English, let's have more English, American English flavors. Please sculpt something. For me. Okay? And forget the C. That's what happens when you see, when you guys are serious investigating the Sixth Patriarch Sutra, Alung is so happy. He said, I'm so happy, I found my thrill. His version. Okay? So, 正色. I don't know why 正色. Okay? Now, I hope that someone will help us out in the future. So we don't know. So sculpt something for me. Okay? Please sculpt something for me.
雕
Okay, next, 570, Sutra text. Fang Bian was bewildered, but after several days, he completed a lifelike image of the Patriarch, 7 inches high and wonderful in every detail.
便往错，过数日，塑就真相，可高7寸，曲径奇妙。
Okay, again, this is a subtlety about Chinese. I don't understand. Wang Shuo, something like that. Wang Xie. Wang Zuo. So I don't know what that means. Okay, so unless anyone can add, we can accept it with bewildered. I don't know why he would be bewildered. But after several days, Go Shu Zhi, he Shu Jiu Zheng Xiang. So after several days, he carved a lifelike image of the Patriarch. Okay, about 7 inches high and 曲径奇妙 and wonderful in every detail. Okay. Any questions or comments? Anything you'd like to add? Okay, very good. Let's moving on. 571, Sutra text. The master laughed and said, "You only understand the nature of sculpture. You do not understand the nature of the Buddha."
师笑曰：“汝只解素性，不解佛性。”
All right. So the master says, pretty good, okay? But you only understand understand sculpting, but you don't understand the Buddha nature. Okay? So the Chinese is very accurate. This is use "sing" here. We don't need to translate nature of sculpture. Okay, he said you understand sculpting. Okay, but you don't understand the Buddha nature. All right. Next, Sutra text 572. Then the master stretched out his hand and rubbed the crown of Fang Bian's head, saying, "You will forever be a field of blessing for gods and humans."
师舒手摩方便顶，曰：“永为人天福田。”
So he says, not bad. You are pretty good at sculpting, but you don't understand much about the Buddha nature, meaning that you are no good at what? Chan. Right? You understand, when you do Chan, you understand the Buddha nature. You see the nature. So that's what he means. You don't understand Chan. You only understand how to work with your hands. All right? So then the master stretched out his hand and rubbed the crown of Fang Bian's head, saying, so this is a gesture of what? Of what? Chinese people, what's the matter with you? Yes, Chinese.
Patronizing.
Patronizing. Approval. Yes? Not just patronizing. Approval. Very good, very good, very good. That's what you do when you pat a kid's or a dog's head. Very good, very good, very good. Yes? But it's not just patting, but you pat the crown of his head. So this is the physical gesture. He put his hand on the crown of the head, and so it's you know what it really does. I heard of someone who first met Master YongHua, and Master YongHua did that. Okay, he was bowing to Master YongHua, and Master YongHua took his hands and put it on the crown of his head. Okay? Like this. And would you like to know the rest of the story? Well, this is what he told me, so please, it's not, I didn't make it up. So he says, he's very sick. He's very, very sick. That man is very, very sick. So when the first time he met Master YongHua, he bowed to Master YongHua because that's what everyone was doing. So you bow. Master YongHua was sitting there and he's bowing. He's bowing in front of him. Okay, right in front of him. So as he was still kneeling there, Master YongHua put his hands out and then touched his head like this. Okay, and he says, when Master YongHua did that, okay, I felt this energy that runs through the spine of my body that like sucks up my sickness. Suck it up like a Kirby vacuum cleaner. Okay, so he sucks it up. And so he can see. He can sense it. He can sense it. It's this all the ickiness in his body, okay, that get to the spine and then getting sucked up like a vacuum. Nghe tiếng không? Huh? Isn't it cool? I've been practicing that for the last 25 years. It's still not working. So that's what, I heard these stories and I said, wow, I'd like to do that someday. Okay? So he sucked it up and he just left it there, Yeah, like that. Okay? And he's just sucking it up. So he says, so he stepped back. He says, I cannot let this old and sick monk take the sickness out of my body for me. So he stepped back and pew, disappeared. The suction stopped. So I said, you know what I thought? Can I tell you? I thought, when I'm able to suck it like him, I would be a range of 10 feet. Very competitive, Isn't that cool? You see, this is why they tap you on the crown of your head. Can you see the compassion in my masters in doing that to a sick guy who he's never met before, who's, if you really know him, you say, nah, next. Get out of here. You're too much trouble. You smoke, you drink, And so in this, going back to slide 572, he stretched out his hand, rubbed the crown of Ambia's head, which is a gesture of approval, of I use a dirty word, love. Okay, you will. Okay, this is very intimate. Yes, yes, yes. See that? Okay, it's a gesture of love and compassion. And he's saying, you will forever be a field of blessings for gods and humans. He says, meaning that you can't become enlightened. So, oh well, but I pity you, okay? Not everyone can be enlightened, let's face it, so yes, okay. All right? And give him a prediction that he's just, few blessings, and not quite enlightened yet. 574, Sutra text. The master rewarded him with a robe which Fang Bian divided into 3 parts.
施人以一酬之，便取一分为3。
And baffled that patriarchs carry so many robes with them to go wash the clothes. Not efficient at all, thank you. Okay? Think about it. It's as if he brought an extra robe for him to give to Fang Bian. That's the only explanation possible. You agree or disagree? I mean, it's like before today I'm going to go wash my robe and I'm going to find a pool right there 2 miles away, and that, oh, by the way, I need to bring an extra robe. That kind of thing. And now Fang Bian divided the robe into 3 parts. 575, Sutra text. 1 he used to wrap the sculpture, 1 he kept for himself, and the 3rd he wrapped in palm leaves and buried in the ground, vowing.
1披塑像，1自留，1用忠义，1用忠礼，义地中，誓曰。
Okay. Now this guy is also a strange person. He cuts it up into 3 pieces. So Chinese. I don't understand that Chinese mentality. Can you imagine if we have a rope that's given to us by Venerable Huineng, how much it would fetch on eBay nowadays? But no, this guy, he cut it in 3. One to preserve the sculpture Master Huineng. One he kept for himself as memento. And one he wrapped in palm leaves and left it buried in the ground. Okay? I don't get it. Anyway. 576, Sutra text. In the future, when this robe is found again, I will appear in the world to be abbot here and restore these buildings. Wow.
后得此衣，乃吾出世，住持于此，重建殿宇。
Still, with a full rope, he can build a lot more temples. So it's interesting that he says, I want to leave it here because I want to mark the space here, the spot here, so that in the future I come back and be an abbot of the way place here. It's so cool. Okay, he made a vow. He says, I want to use my blessings to become an abbot of this way place. Okay, this is sacred ground for me. I will come back. Right? 577, Sutra text, note, during the Sung dynasty in the 8th year of the Jia You reign period, 1063 AD, while Bhikshu Wei Xian was repairing the hall, he excavated the earth and found the rope which was like new. Wow.
宋嘉佑8年，有僧为先，修殿掘地，得衣如新。
So 400 years later, in the Song dynasty, the 6th patriarch was around like Tang dynasty, right? Yeah, and 400 years later, 4 centuries later, they discovered it while excavating the earth, okay, and it was very well preserved. Why did you wrap it in? Palm leaves. Okay. Is it possible? What about the moisture in the earth? Huh? Think about it. It is a miracle. Okay. Nowadays we need to wrap it in plastic, right? Plastic wrap. Maybe at least a couple of layers, 2-3 layers. Okay. Plastic lasts about 500 years, so it won't decay yet. Okay. And then maybe outside palm leaves and so forth. Okay. So it's fascinating that by wrapping this in palm leaves alone, it's so well preserved as it's new. It's fascinating. Okay. You might call it a miracle in Buddhism. Okay. And I don't know why the Christians have such big deals and miracles everywhere on this earth, but for us Buddhists, this is a true miracle to us, and no one goes and do pilgrimages to that place. Okay. Oh, that's the way it is, I guess. 576, Sutra text, in the future, when this rope is found again, I will appear in the world to be abbot here and restore this building. Did I do this already?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Yeah. Sutra text, the image, 578, the image is at Gao Quan temple, and those who pray before it obtain a quick response.
像在高泉寺祈祷则应。
So they have some miracle things. with this. It's fantastic. Chinese people, is it still around? Because we might want to do a pilgrimage. Huh? Is it still around? Yes, Jane.
2 comments. The first one is this xiang is the sculpture. That's the sculpture Fang Bian made 400 years ago.
Right.
So it's not the image, it's the sculpture.
Right.
And the second, and so going back, initially, 六祖正色, it's just the contrary to later on, he was laughingly and telling Fang Bian, just make a sculpture and show it to me. So it's just the language. It's one is serious and then being playful.
Okay. All right. Very good. So the image is xiang is the statue, right? Correct. But for us Buddhists, statues or drawings are considered to be images. So in English, we call the images. Okay, that includes everything, all the statues and drawings and whatever, whatnot. Okay, it's called images. Okay, so image is okay. Translation-wise, it's okay. Okay, Gaochuan Temple before contain quick responses. Okay, the point here is that for these great Buddhist sages, these enlightened Buddhist sages, when you have a statue carved in an image, okay, they're there. They're there. They maintain their presence there. Their Dharma protectors there. Their students, their disciples, invisible disciples are guarding them. Okay? So the image, and it says they obtain a quick response. It shows you how powerful Master Huineng is. Okay, when you pray to these Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, you will obtain responses, depending on their level, how quick the response comes around. Okay, the more powerful they are, the quicker the response. Is it clear? Okay, that's why I'm very interested in going to Gaochuan Temple. Maybe ask for a few temples. Huh? Anyone? Shall we organize? Huh? Huh? Wouldn't that be cool? At least we can get something out of the 6th Patriarch Sutra. Yeah, Blue.
Master, you said that Master Huineng was during the Tang Dynasty. He was around during the Tang Dynasty, am I right?
Huineng or Huineng.
Huineng, I'm sorry, Huineng.
Is
so the Tang Dynasty is known as the Golden Age of Buddhism, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, thank you.
Many great sages manifested, they appear in the world. Okay, Sung is a lot later. So anyway, so they obtain a quick response. Quick, I'm interested in quick. Okay, all right, 579, Sutra text. Isn't it cool? We learned something new today. I'm so excited. Do some research, have boys and girls and Chinese people. Can we organize a thing? One bhikshu was reciting Chan Master Wo Lun's verse.
有僧举卧轮禅师偈曰
So now the next story, the next teaching. Sutra text in 580. Wo Lun has a talent to stop the 100 thoughts. Facing situations, his mind won't move. Bodhi grows day by day.
卧轮有伎俩，能断百思想，对境心不起，菩提日日长。
All right. Commentary on slide 581. Wolun have a skill, a special skill, a talent. Okay? Wolun is the name of that, is that monk? Yeah, he's a monk. What? He can stop the 100 thoughts. Okay, the translation says this is the I would translate slightly differently because it is more elegant. This is, see if you like this better. Wolun has a talent, not the talent, a talent. He can stop the 100 thoughts. That's how I would describe it, translate it. Okay, so it's more dynamic. It's like a story. You're telling a story. He has a talent among many, many talents. Okay? And one of them is he can stop. That one talent is he can stop the 100 thoughts. Sounds good? Huh? It's much more dynamic. You know, this is too boring. He had the talent to stop the 100 thoughts. Too Chinese. 对境心不起. Facing situation, his mind does not move. Okay, I will change it slightly as well. Okay. Toward states. Toward states. His mind does not arise. Are you writing it down? You're correcting it? Okay, very good. Again, this is the English version of it, so that it's more accurate of the original Chinese without losing too much of the original intent. 对境, meaning that when you face with anything, okay, whatever happens, the earth quakes. That's a state. Yes? External state. Right? You hear a boy screaming. It's a state. Okay? So, facing any state, okay, facing a state, his mind will not arise, meaning that the qi here is to arise. What arises? The false thoughts will not arise. You look at this as the mind is flat, not moving here, and when that earthquakes, okay, there's a blip, okay, that's arisal, okay, that's what happens. And when the earthquakes, it's still nothing. That's what it means. Nothing arises. No thoughts arises. No fear. No worries. No greed. No anger. Okay? 菩提日日长. So Bodhi grows day by day. So far so good. So it means that this Wolun here, this monk here, has a skill to be able to stop his false thinking. All right? and meaning that he's a fourth stage arhat. And because he's able to stop his thoughts, no matter what happens, his mind does not move. Okay, that's what stop the thoughts means, because it's a skill you have that when anything happens outside, inside, you don't react. You have no reaction whatsoever. Okay? And because of that, if you're able to do that, pay attention, boys and girls. After you get the fourth stage arhat, this is a secret, Buddhist secret, that we're going to give it to you for free, because Master Huineng gave it to you for free already. Darn it. Okay? He says, after you get the fourth stage arhat, do like this guy does. Every day, make sure, are you paying attention? Okay, that you do not strike up any false thinking. That's how you become enlightened. Okay? You're unimpressed. Well, who cares? Sutta text 582. When the master heard it, he said, this verse shows no understanding of my ground, and to cultivate according to it will increase one's bondage. Then he spoke this verse. Shucks. I take it back.
师闻之曰：“此即为明心地，若依而行之，是家系父。应是以记曰。”
Okay. What's wrong with this? Before we take a peek. He says that if you cultivate according to it, you will increase one bondage, meaning that he says, let me put it this way, too slow. Okay? It's okay, but it's too slow. I have a better approach. Okay? If you don't have a master, it's okay. But if you come to me, this is what I would do. If he came to me, this is what I would do. I would tell him. So far, so good? Okay. Sounds good? Oh, the lady enjoys it. They say, wow, this is so cool. All right? 584, Sutta text. Huineng has no talent to stop the 100 thoughts. Facing situations, his mind often moves. How can Bodhi grow?
慧能没伎俩，不断摆思想，对境心竖起，菩提作么长。
He says on 585, and this is the verse before the verse of Wolun, right? Wolun wrote that verse. He says, I can stop my thoughts. I can do that. I know I can do that. Okay? And the proof is that no matter what happens, if there's a fire in Southern California, I still don't worry about it. He's very proud of that. Okay? Yeah. So Huineng says, that's his verse. This is my verse. Okay? It says, Huineng has no talent. Okay? He can't stop the 100 thoughts. Okay? He cannot stop the 100 thoughts. Okay? Faced with states, so change it, the other part. I said towards states, you say faced with states is much better translation. Please make that correction. Thank you. Faced with states, his mind often moves. How can Bodhi grow. See how beautiful this is? Yeah, I can talk on both sides of the mouth at the same time. Sometimes it's good, at the same time it's bad. You don't find it funny. Okay, let me tell you why it's so interesting. It says, Hui Neng, I, Hui Neng, have no talent whatsoever. Meaning what? Meaning what? It's not even a talent for him. It's no big deal. It doesn't count as a talent. Is it clear? Hey, Andres, he's not lying. I have a person here who's going to go to hell. It says, Hui Neng definitely lied. I say, do we know him? So Hui Neng has no talent. What talent? What's the big deal? He cannot stop 100 thoughts. Why does he have to stop 100 thoughts? Why does he have to stop 100 thoughts? They don't even arise. What's the point in stopping them? You see that? What thoughts? Yes, sir. Just bear with the Chinese. The Chinese, they talk, they wishy-washy. Okay. Yes, go on. Green.
Is this related also to no production and no non-production?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Master.
Faced with states, his mind often moves. Okay, often is good. So, whenever something happens, a state happens, it's cold, it's hot. Can you turn on the fan, please? You see that? It's too hot today. That's hot. Hot is a state, and you can turn on the fan. You see that? Can we go to the beach? Can we have some, I don't want to mention that cool thing, okay? Because people keep on buying it. I'm exhausting all my blessings. Stop it. You are having too many thoughts. I can have thoughts, and you cannot have thoughts. Okay? So when something happens, he reacts to that. Okay? He cannot stop the 100 thoughts. He says, there's so many things that arose in my mind. Okay? What's wrong with Venerable Hui Neng? Why is he so scattered? Okay, Orange.
I think that's his wisdom. It's not regular thoughts.
I think it's wisdom. Yeah. What are you talking about? Okay, and let's skip this because I can't explain to you without revealing state secrets. Okay? So he says his mind often moves. That's Hui Neng. It's true. His mind moves. When the earthquake says, oh my God, earthquake! Oh my God, it's so hot! Okay? Oh my God, cute boy! That kind of thing. Okay? It's not about you, boy. See? He can't stop his thoughts. You see? So, the mind here, let me give you a clue. the mind here that Wolun, the other guy, talked about his false mind. Right? Okay, his false mind, the mind, your thinking mind, that's called false mind. Okay, that moves, it reacts to external events. Wolun says, whatever happens, I'm like a robot. I don't move. My mind doesn't move. Okay, that's a state of fourth-stage arhat. Whereas Master Huineng, it says, when something happens, he moves. Okay, because let me give you the analogy, and I cannot explain more than this because sometimes you revert back to the Chinese way of explaining things to make it more mysterious. Huh? There is a very, very famous Chan quote. There's a Chan master who says, when I started to learn Chan, I saw that rivers are rivers, mountains are mountains. Then, as I started practicing, I discovered that mountains are not mountains, rivers are not rivers. And now I realize that mountains are mountains and rivers are rivers. That's very Chinese. Beautiful Chinese. You have to give it to the Chinese. You can't beat that. Okay? So the analogy, why I give you that quote, the analogy is that, remember, when he first started, he saw mountains are mountains, rivers are rivers, okay? And then he saw the mountains are no longer mountains, rivers are no longer rivers, earthquakes are no longer earthquakes, cheesecake is no longer cheesecake, okay? See that? And that's the state of Wolun. So far, so good? And finally, I realized that mountains are mountains and rivers are rivers. That's Master Huineng's. Is that clear? Questions or comments? All right. Okay. And finally, yes, somewhere in the world.
So, Master, in the English translation, it says he cannot stop the 100 thoughts.
Yes.
Is it like just he does not stop the 100 thoughts? He is able to do it, right?
He cannot stop the 100 thoughts. Meaning what? I don't know. The Koreans are too detailed. Okay, that's a good point. The translation 不断 is not, he cannot. He can stop the 100 thoughts. Okay, but when you translate into Master Huineng, he says, Huineng has no talent. He does not stop the 100 thoughts. Thank you for the objection. Change, correct the translation of Master Huineng's verses. He does not stop the 100 thoughts. He can, but he does not. Wolun's verse is that he emphasizes, I can stop 100 thoughts. He's very proud of that. But Huineng says, I do not stop 100 thoughts because what's the point? What's there to stop? Okay? Faced with states, his mind often moves. He keeps on reacting to states. How can Bodhi grow? Okay? So it's true that if your mind often moves, it's still within the realm of Wolun. If your body wants to grow, you have to stop your thoughts. Okay? Because Huineng cannot stop his thoughts. How can Bodhi grow? Okay? Meaning he confirms Wolun's cultivation. So far, so good. So he's saying Wolun is correct. But at the same time, he says, how can Bodhi grow? Meaning what? He says, it's true what Wolun is thinking, what Wolun understands is gradual. See? Wolun sees the gradual process of emptying his mind and keeping it clear and severing his thoughts. That's how you allow Bodhi to grow. It's a gradual cultivation. Wolun doesn't understand. Okay? Because Master Huineng says, even I'm faced with the states, my mind jumps like hell, but Bodhi can still occur. Okay? Okay? That's one meaning. That's one implication that Wolun doesn't understand. Wolun does not understand the certain teaching. Number two, how can Bodhi grow? Bodhi is Bodhi. It cannot grow. It cannot change. Okay? And that's the main criticism of Master Huineng towards Wolun. What kind of stupidity are you talking about? How can Bodhi grow? Wake up. Don't talk like an idiot. Sorry, you Chinese people. We Americans, aren't we? All of us? I mean, all of us who are learning, including Koreans, isn't it cool? This is so cool. How can Bodhi grow? And that's Master Huineng's teaching. You like? Not yet. Okay. I give up. Okay, so this on the commentary on 585, ignore that. It's nonsense. It's my commentary, by the way. Okay. That's it? Yay! Chapter 7. All right, finally. End of chapter 7. All right, we made it. Finally. Oh, yeah. I love the verses. It's so beautiful. That's when I wish I were Chinese. There's no way you can compose something like this in English. All right. No break. Or shall we take a break? It's too hot. Very good. You passed the test. No one moved. At least pretended not to move. Okay. Sudden and gradual is the title of chapter 8. Okay, that's it. Slide number 3. Yeah, very good. Sudden, okay, refers to you. One moment you are unenlightened, and split second you become enlightened. That's what sudden enlightenment is. All right. Gradual is that it has to happen incrementally. Whereas in sudden, there is no successive, no gradual improvement. So it was as evidenced by the other chapters where Master Huineng talked to his Chan visitors, and boom, they become enlightened just like that. That's a proof there's a sudden teaching. Okay. However, typically, like the verses from the end of chapter 7, Wolen, that's a gradual cultivation. Okay. So back then in China, the two schools, Chan schools, Southern versus Northern. Southern is Master Huineng, which is he teaches the sudden enlightenment, and Northern is the other Chinese masters. Okay, all the disciples of the fifth patriarch who are teaching gradual, and they're interconnected. Okay, there is no sudden without gradual. Okay, so meaning that this is something that the Chinese don't explain it to their own people. Okay, you cultivate. You look at the history of Buddhism as Shakyamuni Buddha taught them. Look, okay. When he taught the human realm, he taught the Agama store, which is gradual teaching. Yes, you go from the form realm into the formless realm. Okay, and then you go into the desire realm, go to the form realm, to formless realm. Okay. No, the form realm, formless realm, and what else? Formless realm. Okay. Something like that. Okay, so in the Agama store, in the gradual teaching of the Hinayana, that's Hinayana store, the Buddha says, this is what you meditate and you practice these things, and all the teaching in that store is called gradual teaching. You have to go from one level to the next, to the next, to the next, and to the next. So far, so good. That's what's called gradual. You have to improve incrementally. So far, so good. Okay? And then the Buddha taught the Vaipulya, okay, and says, basically, you need to prepare to let go of the attachment to gradual. Okay? And that's Vaipulya. And then the next period teaching is prajna, where enlightenment. That enlightenment there is sudden teaching. Okay? All enlightenments are sudden. No. Any enlightenment, big enlightenment, is sudden. So far, so good? No such a thing as gradual, big enlightenment. So far, so good? This is something that the Chinese don't explain it to their followers. You have small enlightenment of fourth stage Arhat. That is gradual. But when you reach the big enlightenment of Bodhisattvas, it's sudden. It cannot be gradual. Boom! One moment you're confused, next moment you're enlightened. Just like that, how long it takes. Okay? So what is the relationship between gradual and sudden? Gradual meaning you prepare. You build a foundation. You run. You pick up speed. You pick up speed so that you can take off. Right? So this gradual here is picking up speed. Preparing. You lock the doors, you put on the seat belts, and turn off your phone and so forth. Okay? And you run, and then this is enlightenment. So far, so good? I know most of you forgot how it is like to fly anymore. But that's what the analogy between sudden enlightenment versus gradual enlightenment. Gradual is you prepare. So that's why I'm telling you. People don't understand. I know some of you came to our Chanchi, okay, before there was a lockdown, right? Okay? Now no one comes to our Chanchi anymore. Okay? So I said, everyone who came to our Chanchi improves. 7 days, you improve. Don't go 3 days, 4 days. 7. Hey, you pay attention? 7. Okay? You do 7 days, you will improve. Because that's a Chinese secret. You have to do 7 days. Okay? It may happen before that, but if you do 7 days, okay, that's why a qi is that it takes about 7 days for your body to experience significant change. Yes, sometimes some of you happen within 2, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, but 7 days is the recipe. Is a Chinese Chan secret. Okay? And that's why very trying to go there and follow the schedule for 7 days. You have so many obstructions. You want to quit. You want to get out of there. You complain, and so forth. Okay? So that's why I said, if you go 7 days, it's like you are not improving, but you're improving. Because you're building this foundation for boom. Is it clear? Chicago, Illinois. I know some people, I've been testing these people say, anyone who comes to our Chanchi, they all improve. And some of them say, I haven't. Master is lying. So far, so good? Okay. So gradual is preparation. Okay? It's like cooking. You slice. You dice. You remove the bone. You debone the chicken. And then when you cook, the stir fry, few minutes, you're done. Okay? So it takes us an hour, 2, 3 hours to prepare the ingredients. Take a year to grow them and harvest them. You see that? It's all gradual. All that process is called gradual. Okay? Don't ever underestimate that. Okay? So that gradual process here. Okay, Mahayana, we prepare you, we prep you, Sometimes reciting Buddha's name, sometimes it's a medicine master, sometimes it's one yin, sometimes hands and eyes, sometimes, I don't know, okay, cooking in the kitchen, mopping the floor, okay? All those are gradual preparation. And when the time is right, you lift off. That's it. That's the secret of Mahayana training. And it's not talk, okay? Because look around you. Look around when you're at the time of the sixth patriarch, at the time of these great teachers, Bai Zhang, Ma Zu, okay? All those great Chinese patriarchs, okay? They're all teaching, certain teaching, but they send the people to the field. In six patriarchs' time, they go to the field, they work the field. They have specialists who bring out, who empty the toilets. You know, the Chinese, the way they do it, you know how they do it? Hey, you non-Chinese people, they have a 10-foot pole, no, a 100-foot pole from here to 3 blocks away. And they put a can of coconut and they flip it over. Okay, they go like they scoop it up and then bring it over there and they empty it. Okay, Master YongHua, he says that's too inefficient. So he goes over there, pick up the kimchi big thing, and brings it over there. No face mask. He takes his hands, scoop it up, whoop, whoop. He said himself, okay? And then he carries thing with him, okay, to over there where the field where they're growing the bai cai and the carrots and the spinach, and he dump it over to fertilize them. And he goes back to the kitchen and cooks and prepares the food and cooks for the temple. He said it himself. I'm not making this up. Disgusting. He asked me. I would never eat that. Only too Chinese for me. Okay, so all that work is gradual. Is that clear? It's all gradual. Everything we do, when you're not certain, you haven't attained certain enlightenment yet, it's gradual enlightenment, mind you. Okay? But then my student says, I'm stuck with doing the audio video. I'm so bored. It's the same thing over and over again every day. No one appreciates it. They only see as a pastor only complains when he sees a problem. Okay? Oh, I am in the kitchen. I work my butt off. People never happy. They complain. Too salty. Too sweet. Not enough food to eat, Master says. Have you no heart? Okay. And I said, I shave my head for this? It's gradual enlightenment, all of you. Okay? All right. And then all that preparation, gradual, you have to prepare. That's why it's called gradual enlightenment. You improve a little bit. As you prepare, you improve. You get closer, closer, closer until you, boom, you leap. Okay? It's the only way to go from confused to enlightenment is that leap right there. There's nothing in between. Nothing. Is that clear? And this is what the Hinayana don't understand. Yes, question. YouTube question.
Hi. Yeah, it's this question from Quinn Cow. It starts with a little bit of Chinese, so I'll need a little bit of help. Yeah, go ahead. There.
若依而行之，是家系父。
So Venerable Achan said,
I don't have that.
hard to hear.
Can we, time is up, can we do it next time? Because
Okay.
we have switched back and forth. Can you hold that thought? Can you hold that, can we postpone till next time? Because now it's 2:30 already.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you for your question. We'll answer that next time around. Okay? Okay. Let's stop here today. And next time we go on, go into the sutra text itself on slide number 4, chapter 8. Okay? Thank you, everyone. Let's stand up and do the rebirth transference.